All right. So today we're going to do the cello. I have here burnt umber, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and cadmium red light. So the main color we're going to use is burnt sienna. I mix a bit of yellow ochre in it. Any color will do, any combination, red oxide, or even burnt sienna, cadmium orange will be a nice color too to use. There are different combinations that can be used for this. And eventually we're going to be probably using some cadmium orange for highlights in certain areas, because you don't want the cello to be the same color everywhere. So it's a kind of a toned down, nice orange, earthy color. I'm going to start painting the cello, and then we'll take it from there. We can highlight, or we can darken some areas. And then we'll paint the arm, this right there. All right, so now I see I'm spreading on a big surface. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a little bit of burnt sienna and put a bit of a burnt sienna here, just burnt sienna on the same brush. Didn't even have to clean my brush. And we'll go and do this one more time after, when it's dry. So now I have a very soft shadow doing this. So clean wipe your brush a bit on the palette, and then start doing again, spread the color. I use a different brush to put my burnt sienna again here. All right. I'm just trying to look at the reference, if I can find the reference. Oh, okay, here. And I'm going to continue putting color on the cello, the cello color all over. Now, in certain areas, I'm going to darken a bit, like here. I'm going to take a bit of burnt sienna, mix it in a bit in here, and go with a bit of a darker burnt sienna. Why? Because you don't want it to look exactly the same color everywhere. It's okay, but it's nicer if it's not. It will look flat. I see here a bit of strong kind of shadow. So I'm going to take a little bit of burnt umber, and while it's still wet, my paint is still wet, and just put it in here. Let's see if it doesn't work, then I will wait for it to dry and add it after. I will do the detail after. This is not the way it is. I will go in after and fix that detail. Now, continue. So you see, sometimes I pick up more burnt sienna, and sometimes I pick up the mixture that I have here: burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and cadmium red light. So I go back and forth between both of them. Like I mentioned before, just because I don't want it to look too flat. Usually, most of the time, there's a reason, like maybe there's a more highlight in one area than than the other. But for now, we're just gonna put the color of the cello. This is when you need a fast forward, or not fast forward, I mean the speed the whole process.
Mhm. Time lapse.
Time lapse. Yes, thank you. That's it. All right, that's good. All right. I'm going to pause for a minute and then we'll come back. Okay, let's do the side. This side, let's get a round brush. We have more control. And then in certain areas. So I'm going to take burnt umber. Mix it. And I went over this part by mistake. Shouldn't. That's okay. I'll just take. Now we're going to need the main mixture mixed with burnt umber. I'll explain why I'm doing this in a minute, why I'm using the color of the main cello color, because this part should be darker than this part here, a little bit darker. If we can darken it a tiny bit. Now, again, I'm going to take burnt umber, just burnt umber at this point, only burnt umber. And now I'm going to take the main color of the cello, mix it with burnt umber, and push down, put it down. So what I'm trying to do is have this part darker than the cello, the face, the main, even if it's slightly darker. But we will highlight the cello a bit soon. We will be highlighting this part. Okay, that's good. Good, good. All right, again, I'm going to take burnt umber. I'm going to start from the bottom. Acrylic dries darker, so we always have to adjust. This is main color of the cello with the color of the main color of the cello with burnt umber. Now I'm adding a little bit of, the more I go up, I'm adding a tiny bit more of yellow ochre in here. This is burnt umber. All right. Yellow ochre, tiny bit of cadmium red light. All right, the shape is not working very well. I'll fix it. I'll have to fix this. I'm going to pause again a bit, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I switched where the palette is because it's too much light on the left-hand side. So I'm adding here cadmium orange with the main color, which is burnt sienna, yellow ochre, quite a bit of yellow ochre, and cadmium red light. So I'm going to take now a little bit of orange, push it into the main color, and I'll keep it on the side so I can still use the color inside, the main color inside, using it for lights and darks and whatever I need to put in there. And I'm going to come here, and this is where the light color is going to be, mostly top part. Now, when I get to this part, I'm going to take a little bit of red. Again, because I don't want this to look too flat, all the same color. I'm going to play around with these colors a bit with the paint. Go back to a little bit more brown or main color with orange. If I feel that the color is too much, I'm going into a lot of strong highlights, then I switch and add the color of the main color, add it in. I'm going to take a tiny bit of burnt umber at this point and introduce a little bit of burnt umber at the bottom. Acrylic is really, again, very unpredictable. So I'm going to try to, especially when it dries. Yeah, that's good. Very good. Now, in between here, there's a little bit of a highlight. Good. All right.
The dark color in the bottom.
Burnt umber. Burnt umber.
Oh, rent umber.
Burnt umber. Yeah.
Rent umber.
Yeah. Now I'm going to get into a little bit of more of the orange, push my orange into the main color and start putting a little bit more lighter orange in here. Lighter, not orange, I mean lighter color of the main body in here. And I'll tell you why. Because once we start, if we want to put that strong highlight here, you want this highlight to be, it's better if it has a light background. Otherwise, you'll have a strong contrast between the light and the dark. That's too strong. All right, tone it down. I'm going to transition to a mixture of from this light. I'm going to go in with the color, the main color. So the more I go down to the bottom, the darker it becomes. Now, let's tackle the shadows. This one here is just, I'm going to use just burnt umber. I didn't clean my brush. So my brush has some of the orange, not orange, I mean the main color of the cello. Okay. All right, that's good. All right, I'm gonna pause and then we'll come back to this. All right, let's start putting some strong highlights. So I have here cadmium yellow light, white, and orange, and this is the main color of the cello. So
cadmium light. Okay.
Yes, cadmium yellow light.
If I don't have the base color,
Base color, sorry, what's the question?
sorry, your highlights are the base color plus orange plus yellow.
Yeah, I have the base color here sitting ready for any kind of for emergencies. Like if I mess up, let's say.
Okay.
Okay, so the base color is sitting here, it's ready. I have it. I don't have to mix it.
I see a very, very light yellow though.
It's cadmium yellow light.
Lael, I have light azo yellow. Is that because I don't have cadmium light?
Yeah,
yellow
that's
light.
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Is that okay?
Yes. Yes, it will work. So the base color is sitting here for emergencies, or if I want to go back and just kind of blend the colors, because you know with acrylics, when you are blending and you want that soft blending, you need those two basic, the base color to be wet. Otherwise, you'll have a sharp line. So this base color is sitting here just in case I want to wet this area. So I can add the highlight and it would be a soft highlight at this point. So let's try. I'm going to take the base color, tiny bit of that base color, push it into the orange and make this part. See, that's the same color I had before, but I'm wetting it. I'm wetting the surface with fresh, wet paint. Now, I'm going to take orange, a little bit of orange, yellow, and for the first layer, before I put white, I'm going to put this combination, orange and yellow, cadmium yellow light. Okay, let's see. Wipe my brush. Okay, I'm going to take at this point a little bit of this color that I have here, which is the main color with orange. Let's take some orange there. And try to soften that the strong highlight that I put in there. And now go back and blend. Any highlight has to be done softly and slowly, especially in this in this kind of situation. Now, I have to tell you something. I am not trying to exactly copy what I'm seeing there. I will try my best to get some highlights showing, but I'm not really aiming for exact same color or highlight. What you see in a photograph and what you want to do is different, completely different. So it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Okay, let's move down. I haven't used white, so no white, it's orange and yellow. And I'm gonna move down here. Now I'm going to go over this with one more, or maybe more than one. I'm going to take now at this point yellow. And my brush still has a bit of that light orange color that I'm putting in here. And then I'm going to add white to my yellow. This is the tricky part. Oh, that's too much white. And after I put this, if that doesn't look like it's shiny, then I'm going to remove it. A little bit of white at this point. So the white is really kind of a small amount. And if when it's dry, if it still looks too strong, this white, then I'll tone it down.
So you mix the white in the
Yellow, orangey yellow.
yes. Okay.
There. I'll put some water in there my paint will help with the blending. To me, right now, it doesn't look like a shiny.
Oh, it's very beautiful.
It looks like it's actually somebody painted something over this thing.
Somebody painted over?
It's painted over. Doesn't look shiny to me.
I don't think so.
No.
Well, that could be like the sunlight, hitting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it does.
Right? Maybe if I continue and
Walk away, Dale. What do you do?
maybe walk away.
Walk away and come back.
Yeah.
And squint your eyes.
Tomorrow. Come back
Squint your eyes.
tomorrow. Squint,
Yeah.
yes. Squint. Right, I might have to tone it down, just glaze it after, and it would be better when it's glazed because the color, the original color of the actual cello will be over. I think it needs to be toned down, glazed. I'm gonna put the highlights and everything, and then I'll glaze it. Glazing always works.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you know what works? different values, like light, dark, slowly adding the highlight slowly instead of, strong right away, strong highlight. That works too.
On the screen, it looks really bright. Is it that bright? Because mine looks really subdued.
Well, not here. I don't know if
Like, is the white showing, or does it look more like orangey yellow?
no, it's like an orange. No, it's like the white is not white. The white is yellow white. It's a yellow white. Let me see if hold on. I'm gonna actually first, what I'm gonna do is pause and then I'll see if I can get you to, fix the color a bit. So I'm mixed a little bit more white with my color that has orange and cadmium yellow light. And I wet my brush so it's not too heavy. The paint is not too heavy. And round brush. And I'm just gonna add this kind of little highlight here and there. And that will suggest shiny. This shiny kind of reflection.
This is just white?
No, white mixed with orange and cadmium yellow light. But there's a lot more white in this. See? Right there.
Mm.
And it's kind of not heavy. It's watery. Not too heavy. Because when it's really highlighted and you see the light reflection, it's not all light, like white reflection. It's not a white reflection everywhere. It is a bit of a hint of white in there. And that's what makes it look shiny. Now we're looking at this without anything else. I mean, once we start putting all of the detail on this cello, it will look better. This is very stark right now. Now, because I have the color, the main color of the cello right here, I am going to paint some parts of that cello, which are up here, this one here, right there, this part. Taking now some burnt umber. Darken a bit this part and the bottom here. Now, I'm going to take orange and add it to the main color. So I'm highlighting a bit now. Orange with the main color. All right, I have to zoom in a bit after when you have, can I zoom in right now?
Yes.
You're okay if I zoom in? Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. All right, so what I did is I took the main color of the cello and I painted this part all over. Then I got just brown, burnt umber, only brown. And I went in and I made a detail inside here. It's like just kind of painted this part and made it smaller, darker over here. I mean, I can do it again. I'm just gonna do this right there. And then got orange mixed with the color of the cello, but quite a bit of orange. Highlighted this part and I did this. And then highlight the top. Highlight this. And a little bit orange in there. So this created the shape of the curve that the cello has on top there, that beautiful detail. And now I'm going to take a tiny bit of white, mix it with the orange, with my orange. Just kind of, again, white, orange on this round brush. And you know, when I'm highlighting, I'm really careful, especially when I'm using white. I'm really careful how much highlights or how much white I'm putting in there. So I put it slowly, and then if I like it and it works, then I go back and I enhance. Now orange, with a little bit white in there. Burnt umber, darken this part, the bottom part here, where it goes in. This part, the cello part, on the side, you can't see it in there, but it does turn around the neck. It turns around. Maybe I should do it in dark so you can see it. I'm going to do this with burnt umber. I'm going to take some burnt umber and I'm going to push that burnt umber to the back. It just, you know why you can't see it? Because there's an orange behind it. The graffiti behind the orange that you see behind the graffiti is camouflaging that detail. Maybe it's a good idea. Camouflage the detail. it has a very nice, beautiful movement of the neck. All right. You know what? Let's keep it like this. It's enough. We're not going to fuss over that too much, over this detail. There's no need. It's just because I like curvy stuff. You know, swirls, and that's why I like to paint stuff like that. Okay. All right. Let's just move on. Good. All right. Okay, so this is how it looks this week. Next week, we don't have a class. The week after. We'll continue the week after.